Hey lovelies, hexlings, and our Cauldron crew. I'm Imogen. I thought I would just quickly throw up a crazy let's build a necromancer base together. So I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this based on the angle, but I wanted to have some kind of video just documenting like what I did before putting out like the how I painted it. So it is now primed and curing and doing its thing. I am very, very pleased with myself, a bit too pleased with myself perhaps. But yes, so here we go. So if you haven't checked out my socials, I so appreciate that. And I'll put links to other stuff in the description below. Hoping to start getting back into streaming. I had a few technical issues and a bit of a, well, it's been a week. Let's just put it like that. So I started by putting down some cork on the base. And then I was like, do you know what? I should really film this. So it's a bit kind of all over the place. I was already priming models, so you'll see bits of priming stuff going on. I was already building a thing and doing a thing. That knife is so dangerously out. So Kraut-Bitz, who you all know for basing, or you should know for basing, they make some bits as well, and these are their Grimdark bits. I was gifted these from pkpro, or I should say from Krautcover via pkpro, because they are sister companies that I affiliate for. And basically I was gifted these, and as soon as I got them, I opened them and I was like, I need to put these on my necromancer. So the first thing I did was grab this book, altered it up a little bit, and like the book had to go on. I was then looking at some of the skulls from the same kit, and they are weird. They're like how can I say, they're almost like rubber, not plastic, but like a rubber material. And they didn't cut too well, and I could have gone in and cut them and cleaned them up and stuff, but I kind of wanted to leave like little bits on. I think it added something to it. And here I'm just using a little Loctite super glue because, yeah, I don't really rate these little tiny super glues, as cute as they look and as good as they are. They just seem to ooze out everywhere. Like you try to use a little bit and now all of a sudden you've got a lot of glue. So I just basically glued the book down in place where I thought it would work. And then I decided that the rest of this has definitely got to be like, my necromancer is surrounded in like a spell work, so there has to be skulls and there has to be candles. There was an additional hand that made an appearance. I would have loved to have added some of these little, what would you even call them? Like the cross and the little necklace and the censer and the chaos symbol. I would have loved to add some of those in. The purity seals, of course, would not work. Well, impurity seals, I suppose, would work, but this is not 40k, so I'm not doing that. I just really enjoy these little bits, and there are some other things on there, like there's some maggots and some bullets and things, so it'd be interesting to have a play with some of the other bits that, from this little set. So you do get 2 of each sprue. The first sprue that you get is like these little skulls, and there's also some dead animal bits and some spines and things on there as well. And then the other one you get is these like little accessory pieces. So you get 2 of each of those. And here a mixture of little bits that I pulled from my dead walkers alongside some Citadel skulls from the Citadel skull box, because this project would not have been completed without skulls from the Citadel skull box. And here I am literally just using the Loctite and some needle nose tweezers to just kind of pick and put things in place. There was no real rhyme or reason. I just had a really good time of just being like, you can go there and you can go there and this fits here and I think this looks good. And I think it really worked out, at least judging by the primed version of this, where I have tried my best to keep in mind OSL, which is object source lighting. I'm very mindful that these candles are going to be lighting up the base of my model, and that my model herself is going to be like in a darker, sort of moodier atmosphere. So I'm kind of trying to brain how I would make that read in like this. So it's exploration, and I am hoping to paint it on live stream, and I might just be crazy. Like, that might just be the craziest thing that I've done so far. However, I will put the link below to that live stream, so if future you is watching this, there may or may not be a live stream in the description below. So I thought I'd just recap back and talk a little bit about what I did first. So I obviously had the model that I kitbashed before, and I will definitely put the link for that, because I used a Soulblight's Gravelord Vampire Lord, and I used a Soulblight's Gravelord Necromancer, and I mushed them together, and I think it turned out really well, and I'm very, very proud of my character that I created. I have named them Veilwrithe Noctum, And of course I've created a whole narrative story. Why wouldn't I have created a whole narrative story for this character? They are the necromancer to my dead walkers. And of course, I will be doing more of my zombies. There will be more zombies. I need to start painting them. I need to prime them first, which I'm hoping is something that I can get done this next week. There's a lot of plans going on this next week. I'm going to be quite busy, but I think you will enjoy it because I hope it's going to answer a few questions as well as give me some more creative flow, and I get to start experimenting with new paints and new products, which is scary and exciting all at the same time. So basically I just took the base for this model, as I said before. I took it's actually corkboards that you put up on the wall, and they're self-adhesive and you're supposed to just stick them to your wall, and then you can put push pins in them for notice boards. But I just took that, ripped off the corner, ripped it up a couple of times, and then put it on here. I did try to cut around the back, so it sort of gives the indication of like it's not a platform, it's like an extended part. But I wanted to try and keep a little like majoritively within inside the base parameters and not have something sticking wildly off of the base in this particular model. I know I have done that before, but my models are majoritively for looking at and something pretty, not playing. However, playing might become a thing that happens. Life changes and people change, and I'm very excited for what the future may potentially hold. And a large part of that would most likely be gaming. Not just painting, but gaming. So watch this space. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so I'm really excited, and this is probably really, really painful for you to watch because I'm kind of watching it and I'm like, I have to talk and fill this dead air. It is midnight. What am I doing? I should be asleep because, but instead I'm here, and I needed to burn through some energy and get some stuff off of my head, and I had so much fun building this that I felt like you needed to see me build it. Gluing these little candles onto these skulls is definitely a skill. It's definitely a skill. I have not yet figured out how I'm going to paint these candles, by the way. I know that they have to be emitting a light, and things around them will be affected by the candle light in both luminosity and also the color. And I don't know if I want to make them like hellfire, so like black blue, or wizard fire, so blue, rather than regular candles. And I don't have very much time to figure that out because I plan to be streaming in, 14 hours. I do know, 14 hours. So I don't quite know what I'm doing to myself. Here is a little hand from one of the Soulblight's Gravelords, Deadwalker zombies that I cut off, and I moved it around a few times, and I did actually place it at the other side of the base, so it is included. There was 2 other hands that I also brought to the situation, but ended up not using them. But yeah, all around, I'm just like really pleased. And this is going to be a continuation of my Quaff the Raven. So if you have seen that, that was an introduction to announce that I was going to be doing these Deadwalker zombies. The Deadwalker zombies have turned into needing to have a Necromancer ruler. The Necromancer is going to be very much tight. It's all part of like that's going somewhere. Like, I'm not just this crazy lady who's like cutting models up and making crazy things. There is a story, there is a rhyme and a reason and a narrative, and it's all in my head, and I'm enjoying it. And I can't just art in the traditional sense of let's paint a thing and maybe play a game. There has to be a story and a reason and a narrative. And so I'm currently playing a video game. I'm currently playing No Man's Sky. I've just started playing that, and I'm really not sure about it. Between my motion sickness, which is severely triggered, ADHD brain cannot remember what things are, and there's so many things to remember. And so far, I feel like I've spent 5 hours. I've literally, if you've played it, I've just got the haptic drive, which apparently is very early doors. So I'm seemingly still in the tutorial. I've just been able to go to like a different galaxy. So hopefully the game gets better from here, but I need story, and there doesn't seem to be a story with this yet. So far, you hit your head, you've got amnesia, you don't know what's going on. You've got to explore these places and figure out what's going on. That is not a story. That's up there with, and then I woke up. So I'm hoping it gets better because I've got friends that play and I would like to play with other friends. That's by the by. Point is, I like stories. I like adventure. I like to explore narration and stories and adventure and stories that unfold as you play. So D&D is a very good avenue for me. Yeah, so I'm just waffling now, as you can tell. It's it is late, and but I'm in a really good mood. And yeah, so let's do a thing. Let's put some skulls on a thing, and then let's paint that thing. And hopefully that thing would look all right. Sorry, this has become a weird sort of personal vlog that I was not anticipating. So yeah, so I've got to talk for another 5 minutes. Could I fill 5 minutes? Can I fill 5 minutes? I don't know. It is a lot more of me just putting things on, and I truly wish that you could see this from a different angle, because in fact what I'll do is I'll put an image here of what it looks like before I primed it, so you can see like where this is going, because top down is not a great angle for this. I should have set up a second camera and done it like angled, which, memo to future self, when building bases or flat things like this, we definitely need to have a better angle than top down. So we learnt some things, and I said in my last video that you should always be striving to learn something new, and I know that was referring to painting, but it's the same like any creative hobby, always learning, always growing, developing skills, trying different things. Don't be afraid to do things outside of the box. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this, and I figured crazy midnight ramblings, you wouldn't be too mad at crazy midnight ramblings. That might be what we call this video. While you semi-watch me build a thing and fumble around and do a thing. And it doesn't get much better, because I only did a quick couple of photos and they were also blurry. And then I primed it. And I'm not mad at the photo of the primed version. It may not be the best priming, still figuring that out using the airbrush. It might not be the best priming, still figuring that out using the airbrush with Vallejo primer and also Liquitex ink. So black Vallejo primer, white Liquitex ink is kind of like my go-to for zenithal priming. And yeah, just trying to keep that OSL in mind, which I think may be my undoing, but also if it works out, I think it will be pretty damn cool. Don't have enough time to ask you if you think I should do like Hellfire or regular fire or like Wizard's Fire or like some crazy fire color. So I guess we'll just see on the stream like how it goes, what I do. So definitely, if you have seen this before the stream, maybe come along to the stream. And if you see it after, maybe leave a comment below and tell me what you would have done, and if you'd have done things differently to how I did actually do them. There will of course be a VOD. And yeah, so we are wrapping up now. We are getting towards the end of this video. I really hope you like what I did, because I am so excited, if you can't tell by midnight excited ramblings for the last 10-15 minutes. But yeah, so check out my social media. I will put all the links below. If the links do not work, check out my linktree, because my linktree will have all the latest links, which is linktree awitchesminis. If I'm on social media, it's at awitchesminis, which is mainly Instagram, YouTube, Coffee. I also have a Discord. You're more than welcome to come join the awesome people over on my Discord, or the Discord as I should now call it. I genuinely feel those people make it amazing, not me. And yeah, so that's everything. Also, don't forget to check out my Cauldron crew. You can join them by joining up to my subscription tier over on Coffee, which just gives you some extra behind the scenes. You get to support me, and yeah, or alternatively, you can donate me / tip me a one-off witches brew, which again is over at coffee.com/awitchesminis. Thanks.